The origin of Darjeeling Himalayan Railway started in the late 19th century, connecting the railway from Tarai to the hills of Darjeeling with a total length covering 51 miles from Siliguri to Darjeeling, climbing from 400 feet above sea levels to 7,404 feet up to Boom and moves down to 6,812 feet till Darjeeling Station. The total expenditure cost for this construction stood as on 1881 was 31,96,000. Before steam train introduced in Darjeeling, various means of transport like ponies, bullocks, pony tongas, bullock cart were used to reach Darjeeling from Siliguri and vice versa through the cart road. The purpose of introducing steam tramway was to reduce the haulage rate of commodities to Darjeeling and to improve the viability of local industries such as tea production. Proposal of DHR came when Siliguri was connected with Calcutta by a meter gauge railway in 1878. Thus, Franklin Prestige, an agent of the Eastern Bengal Railway, approached the government with a proposal to lay a steam tramway from Siliguri to Darjeeling. Ashley Eden, the Lieutenant Governor of Bengal, formed a committee to assess the project's feasibility. The proposal was accepted after a positive report by the committee and construction began in 1879. Then Darjeeling Steam Tramway Company was formed and started its construction with a narrow gauge of only 2 feet. The line closely follows the route of the existing Hillcard Road, as the government supports the scheme so as to reduce road maintenance costs. A sum of rupees 14 lakh was estimated for the project. Glenda's Armanot and Company was hired to construct the line, and by March 1880, track was laid as far as Tindhare. 8 steam locomotives arrived from the workshop of Messrs. Sharp Stewart, Manchester, England. They had manufactured in 2 different types, one type weighing of 12 tons with a hauling capacity of 39 tons and the other type weighing of 14 tons with a powerful brakes with a hauling capacity of more than 50 tons train up hills. Lord Lytton, the Viceroy of India, visits Darjeeling to open the first train line for passengers and goods between Siliguri and Kurseong for 32 miles in 23rd August 1880. And on 3rd July 1881, 51 miles long railway officially opened till Darjeeling that climbs from Siliguri and changed their company name as Darjeeling Himalayan Railway. In its first full year, the line carries 8,000 passengers and 380 tons of goods. Although the railway originally followed Hillcart Road, the steepness of the road was more than the locomotives could handle in some areas. In 1882, 4 loops and 4 zigzags were built between Sukna and Gayabari to ease the gradient. The Darjeeling station was renovated in 1891 and in 1896, Kurseong gets a new station. Previously, the Caldron Hotel had been used for this purpose and storage sheds. The railway was impacted by an 1897 earthquake and a major devastating cyclone hits Darjeeling on 23rd September 1899. 4,000 feet of mountain slide slips into the valley, causing more loss of life and damage to the DHR. Traffic growth continues with 1,74,000 passengers and 47,000 tons of goods. The first bogie carriage enters service, replacing very basic 4-wheel carriages in 1910. In addition to rice flour, coal and tea, the line is bringing increasing numbers of tourists to the region. The shareholders in the company benefited from dividends of 11 to 14%. A branch line of the DHR opens from Siliguri Panchanai to Kishanganj in 1914. At Tindhare, the railway works are relocated from behind the locomotive to a new and extensive site created from removing the summit of Selim Hill. With the continued growth in staff and business, the headquarters of the railway moves from Darjeeling to more spacious accommodation at Kurseong. In the year 1915, another branch, the Tista Valley line, opened from Siliguri to Kalimpong Road, Gelkhola, for transportation of tea and are also used to transport men and equipment for attempts to reach the summit of Mount Everest. In 1919, the Batase Loop was constructed, creating easier gradient on the ascent from Darjeeling, and the first sign of competition for the railway comes with the introduction of a bus service, making the journey in 3.5 to 1.5 hours faster than the train. The railway retaliates with a rail car in 1920, but it can carry only 9 passengers and is soon out of service. In 1934, serious earthquake hits Bihar, shakes all of northeast India. Many buildings in Darjeeling were heavily damaged and the railway also got badly affected, although it soon recovered and played a vital role in transporting repair materials. During the World War II, traffic dramatically increases on the DHR, which played a vital role transporting military personnel and supplies to the numerous camps around Ghum and Darjeeling. The line now had 39 working locomotives and Tindare workshop employing almost 400 workers, constructs extra rolling stock including a 5-vehicle ambulance train for the wounded. A Wolford diesel locomotive arrives in 1942, but the trials were unsuccessful. In 1947, the old wooden station at Darjeeling was replaced by a modern concrete building. After independence on 28 October 1948, the DHR was purchased by the Indian government and is absorbed into the Indian government railway organization. As partition has served the mainline railway link with Assam, the Kishanganj to Siliguri and Siliguri to Sevok section of the 2 DHR branch line are replaced by meter gauge track as part of the new Assam Rail Link project. After heavy damage by flood, the remaining section of the Tista Valley branch from Sevok to Gelkhola was abandoned in 1950. Then the DHR comes under the management of the Assam Railways organization. In 1952, Assam Railways, including the DHR, become part of the Northeastern Railway Zone, later transferred to the new Northeast Frontier Railway Zone in 1958. In 1962, Siliguri line is realigned and extended to New Jalpaiguri by approximately 4 miles to meet the new broad gauge line there. It opens for freight that year and for passengers in 1964. The local sheds and carriage depot were relocated to NGP from Siliguri Junction. Later, UNESCO declared a World Heritage Site to DHR in 1999, the only second railway in the world to get such recognition. 2 NDM6 diesel locomotives were introduced into service, and in 2002, steam locomotive number 787 converted to oil firing, but despite subsequent trials and modification was not successful. 2 more NDM6 diesel locomotives arrived from the MHR Mathering Hill Railway, Maharashtra in 2006. The DHR gets its full-time director in 2007. In the same year, a new Delhi train, the Himalayan Princess and Darjeeling Ghum tourist service were introduced. Oil firing trials end in 2008 and coal will continue to power the steam fleet. Tindare workshop also got through renovation. The 5 4-wheel vans are restored to running order, but the DHR is now caught in 2 places because of the landslide. 2 DHR steam loco engineers make their first of their visit to Tindare, where they improve the performance of 2 steam locos and assist in revamping skills and workshop procedures. In July 2012, a further landslide at Tindare causing more damage, including to the workshop. Locos and carriages are moved by road from Siliguri to Darjeeling to allow a 4th joy train service and the resumption of a daily Kurseong Darjeeling service train. 2 more NDM6 diesel arrived from the Mathering Railway in 2016. In November, Freight Fort Cattle sees the first good train in over 25 years. 9 daily Joy trains again boost the revenue. 2 air-conditioned carriages entered service in 2018. A total of 34 were built, but by 2005 only 12 were in use or being repaired by the railway. Presently, there are 6 diesel locomotives in use, number 600 to 605 of the ND-M6 classes. All the steam locomotives currently in use on the railway are B classes, built by Sharp Steve and Company, and later the North British Locomotive Company between 1889 and 1925. The DHR and its assets, including the station, line and vehicle, is owned by the Government of India and entrusted to the Ministry of Railway. Several programs, divisions and departments of Indian Railway are responsible for operating, maintaining and repairing the DHR. It is protected by 1989 Railway Act and the stipulation governing public property. Thank you for watching. See you in next video.